And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie, and we are actually awake today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we left the courthouse fairly early.
Did we?
Yeah, we were out. We had everything packed up by 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock's late. I hate to tell you this.
Well, yeah, but it's not like the other one we were at
That's true.
when we got kicked out.
Yeah, I got when it got shut down, we were the last ones there. Go, wait a minute, we got to get our junk.
That fella cleaning up says, y'all got to go.
That's what happens to me and Odie. We'll get into all of the politics of what happened last night. We've had some big winners in the Meridian area and also in around. We'll take a look at all of that this morning and try to give you the latest results that we have. I know so many people were riding on it. And you have to say there are a lot of people that put a lot of money into these races.
Man.
And wow is what I've got to say.
And still, I mean, I'm glad everybody went out and voted, but still, I mean, an extremely low turnout.
Oh, it was.
I mean, whooped me. I said 20%, and I think you were down towards 15%, and it ended up being 14 point something.
I've got it here. Hang on here. We'll just pull this up. Here we go is what we've got. This is straight from Donna Gill's office, and I don't have the cover page. Not on this one, I don't.
Not on that one.
I've got it on another piece that we'll pull up, but it was like 14%, wasn't it?
Yeah, 14 point something percent.
But as we look at this, let's look at our totals of what we do have here. As we found out in the Republican side for coroner of Lauderdale County, you see that Stella took the lead there with 56%, 3,346 votes.
Yeah, man.
2,593 were cast for Kenneth Graham. He received 43% of the vote. He came by and spoke to us at the conclusion after we had done that. Very nice of Kenneth to do that.
It really was, and I know that he fought hard. He was out there, but I tell you, it's not the easiest thing in the world to sit there and see your numbers get lower. And
you made the comment last night. There's so many people who probably don't understand this. Odie years ago ran for supervisor, and you didn't win. And I'm not trying to rub it in. I don't want to make sure that.
You know.
But when you tell somebody, I know how you feel, you've been in it because you put your own money up, you put your money where your mouth is, and you went forward.
I mean, it was an experience that was great. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I didn't win. Now I'm doing what I think I was meant to do, and this is what God has me to do is with the emergency management. I love what I'm doing now, but it was an experience that I appreciate having the opportunity to do.
Now, let's talk about something we didn't realize. Me and Odie get everything set up.
And the tummy rumble.
And we had a little help there. All over this, we had our help there going on. And we decided, well, it's 7 o'clock. 7:30 probably the first time we get a vote. Let's go grab us a hamburger and come back.
It's just right down the road.
Yeah. Explain what happened there.
Woo, we got there, and there was nobody in line.
Nobody.
But us. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited. And we're sitting there waiting for our food. My phone goes off, your phone goes off, and we look down, and we're getting results.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
We got to go.
We got to go.
Give us that hamburger.
Finally, they loaded everything up, and here we go. We had the strawberry Frosty. Now, I'm one of those that I usually dip my French fries in my Frosty.
You're weird.
And I said, that's the strawberry one. I'm going to try it. Oh, that was good, too.
I have never dipped French fries into a Frosty. I've never seen it done.
You need to try it.
Until I looked in the rearview mirror last night. There's Odie.
That's some good stuff. But we made it back, and
we were able to come up with a winner probably by 7:20. 7:25.
7:25. We had already called District 1's race, and then by 8:15 we were able to call the coroner race. Of course, that was the Scotty Ray and Odie unofficial results, but.
J.J. Anders walks away with that at 1,509 votes compared to 879 in the end for Chris Bullock. A very challenging race. I know Chris had been doing this since January of last year.
Yeah, I mean that was a lot of time. 8 months pushing and walking and spending money.
It's a lot of work into that.
Yeah, and we've got to do something. And how do you fix it? I don't know, but we've got to get more people out to vote.
Odie, I don't know what the answer is to that. I really don't.
The only thing you can do is, all right, we got $100,000 that we're going to give away to a lucky winner. If you go vote for everybody without a write-in, because a write-in doesn't matter.
A candidate tried that in North Mississippi, and they were arrested for tampering. You cannot give away prizes to go vote, and they had somebody in North Mississippi do that. I'm not kidding you. She was giving away a free TV to anybody that voted. Your name went into a drawing. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, and that should statewide or federal change the law, because it's the only way people's going to go vote. I mean, it's sad. You've got to have some reason, monetary reason or something, for people to get up and go vote.
That's right. I want to address something, and again, anybody, and let me say this, can make a mistake with their wording of what they do. Even I do it here from time to time. I'll get something tongue twisted, but this should have been checked, I think, before it was said and done. And again, I could make this mistake just like anybody else. And let me pull this up and want to show you what this is. The City of Meridian page, their Facebook page. This is the chief talking about their new drone project that they're all going to get into, and they're going to fight crime. And I think that is good. But let's go to YouTube and take just a quick listen to a few moments of what is said, because I don't think they went back and listened to this. What they say, and let me hit this back on us before we play that. What she says in this video is that these new drones, and boy, they got to be fast, dropping handcuffs like we've never seen. This will allow the police officers to fly the drones to see if anybody's arrested before the police get there. Does that make sense?
Wait a minute, say that one more again.
The chief says that the new drones will allow them to fly the drones ahead of the police to see if anybody's arrested before the police arrive to arrest them. Did you get that?
Well, I heard, and I'm processing.
It don't happen that way.
And I'm trying to figure it out.
Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. Only they could do that. Let's go back here. Here it is, and let's hit play and see if you can hear this. I think the audio comes through.
Will allow our officers to remain safe by knowing what is occurring on scene prior to their arrival. They will be able to know whether or not a suspect is in custody or what is going on before they arrive there. Our drone pilot.
Okay, everybody get that? It's going to allow them to see if anybody's arrested before they get there. And again, anybody can make a mistake with your wording and what you do, and it just wasn't caught. But that probably ought to be edited out and fixed. I'm glad they got a drone policy and they're putting it into effect, but boy, that's a quick one. Dropping handcuffs in the air, and then the police.
And I tell you, drones are nice, and drones have a huge place in first responders. Drones aren't always as quick as you think to deploy.
Oh, no.
Meridian, if we've got an airport just right over the west side, we've got a huge airport training facility over on the northeast side, and we have a lot of restricted airspace. And you can't just fly this drone in that restricted airplane. Well, some places you can't get up off the ground. Some places you can't go higher than 100 feet. Some places 200 feet. It just depends on where you're at. And then if you're in an area, you can fly with permission. Sometimes that permission is pretty quick. Sometimes that permission may take 15 minutes. So there's a lot to go into a drone than just opening up a box, turning it on, letting it go.
Yeah, they are very handy. But anyway, that's what the Meridian Police Department, that does need to be corrected there. And I'm sure it will be in the next day or so. Just a trip of the words there of what was said. But that is out there. I'm glad they've got a drone policy going into effect. Already 10 minutes into 7 o'clock. We'll be right back. We've got murder. We've got robbery. All types of things that have gone on in the area. We'll be right back to tell you more about that with Scotty Ray and Odie.
Yeah. Bring on long days, sweltering heat, and acres that just won't end. Exmark mowers were born to deliver legendary reliability, signature cut quality, and stubborn durability that refuses to give in. Because like you, Exmark mowers were built for this. Visit your local dealer or explore an Exmark online for special finance offers available now.
Need an expert to repair a rock? Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Will Parker's your local lawyer located here in Meridian. If you've been in an auto accident, see Will and get the help you deserve. Will explain your rights. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Will Parker, your local lawyer, 2110 Front Street, Meridian. And welcome back. We've got breaking news when it comes to this.
Yes, we've got landfall now in the Keaton Beach area at a Category 3. 120 mile an hour, wind gust 161 miles an hour.
Look at that. Moving north-northeast at 18 miles an hour, Odie. And the millibar is sitting at 950 with this. Now, what is interesting about this, look at this as it comes across here. Once it reaches Waycross, it's still a Cat 2 at Waycross, Georgia. As it comes back out, it'll go through Savannah, run up the edge of the coastline, downgrading here to a tropical storm before it goes back out into the ocean.
Man, that is bringing a lot of rain, a lot of storm surge in the Keaton Beach area and surrounding areas around it. Just a huge storm, and definitely need prayers for these people. Hopefully everyone got out of the way of this
average
storm.
building, Odie, 120 miles an hour, slamming in with wind gusts of 160. What does that do?
Yeah, it's not there. Just the best way to put it. It's not there. And what the wind doesn't get, the waters are going to get. It's just terrible. Prayer for Florida. Pray for everybody in that area. The first responders that are out there, because they are sitting there on the go, and as soon as that van moves on out a little bit, they'll start rushing in to see what they can find. Very dangerous first couple of hours for them, but man, prayers for them at this time.
We may have to start moving our coffee pot to the actual table here. So
I know
we can
it.
have more.
We drink too fast.
That, or we're going to have to get one of those helmets that have the straws that hook to it.
We can take the beer out and put the coffee in.
Yeah. As we go back and talk a little bit more about election coverage last night, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We had a blast up at the courthouse. That was fun. And thank you to Rob for behind the scene, all the work that he done to help us.
Man, I tell you, if it wasn't for him,
we got a jam-up technician.
We do. We've got the best one in the area.
Now, as we go back and look at Stella, as we spoke with Stella last night, she walked away. She wins the Republican side of this. Now she is off to face Rita Jack.
Yeah, so we've got our Republican and we've got our Democrat that will be going head-to-head in November for the general election. So she is still continuing to fight. She's going to get through with this and have 11 months of nothing but fighting.
That's right.
Man, I tell you.
It's going to be good. So y'all stand by on this. November, is it the 18th?
November, let's pull that up when our vote.
Well, as you're doing that, let me talk about Newton County. Supervisor District 3, it looks like Terry Vance will walk away with that 65% of the vote, around 469 votes to 254. That's in Newton County. Now, we have one race in Clark County, and we were back and forth with Barry White last night. He was keeping us informed what was going on in the Justice Court Judge Place 1. And Brian McLaughlin wins that at 313 to 238. And again, that is really close when you get into these. And if y'all see that, it's only 500 people voted for that. 500 people chose what's going to happen.
Yeah, 500 affected everybody.
It sure did. Now, what did you find out on the election?
November 7th. So that's when we're going to be voting. Tuesday, November 7th.
I should have known that. Why would I think the 18th? Somebody help me out.
You didn't get as much sleep last night as you used to.
Yeah, I've been
You lost 30 minutes.
I did. As we go to Supervisor District 1, Neshoba County, it looks as though Mike Snow takes the lead over Shelby Beeson, 294 to 224, Odie.
Man, another one.
Close. We have Circuit Clerk, Neshoba County. Delina Waddell will win that at 2,300, a huge lead there over 1,791. As we have that race, let's see what happened with
Neshoba District 3.
Oh, Kinsey Smith.
Man, now you talk about, does your vote count? I'm not going to vote because my vote don't count. What's those numbers? 592 to 590.
Now, neither one got 50%, or does that matter at this point? Is what it is?
Yeah, when it's just two of you, winner's winner.
So, 2 votes.
So, yeah. I mean, they're going to sit here and go hand count those.
Mm-hmm.
And,
that's coming.
So, Kinsey Smith and Christopher Gardner.
And I would almost think that in Supervisor District 3, this is within a error margin. You'd want to go back and count this too. Kevin Welcher, 526, to Gordon Atkins, 503. That's 23 votes.
So, yeah, that's countable.
Yeah, I would think so. As we go on down here, Constable, it looks like John Lilly will win that. Also, Justice Court, as we talked about that a minute ago, as we stayed in touch with Barry White in Clark County last night. It was a lot of action going on all around the state.
And Barry White is the Republican nominee for coroner of the great county of Clark.
Going to be a lot going on. So November 7th is coming. The political ads aren't over yet. Now, they'll probably wait till late September, October before things start ramping up again and you start seeing a lot more of these ads. They'll wait to that last push a few weeks out before it happens. So be prepared for all of that.
And we'll have to bring y'all another sit down with a couple of our countywide candidates and bring them to you one more again.
That's right. All right, we're going to be back in just a moment as we're going to get into discussing the murder in Meridian, Mississippi last night. It's disturbing. Odie and I both have examined the actual murder that happened. We've witnessed it. We've watched the video from it, and we're going to talk about that next, where it happened, how that affects you, and your thoughts. That's up and coming with Scotty Ray and Odie.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and this is Odie. Early Wednesday morning. What is it?
It's hump day. That's Steve. Steve, you know what? Steve, you know what day it is, Steve? I'm going to have to go around and say, Scotty Ray. Do you know what day it is, Scotty Ray?
I have not got my milk carton in a row just yet. That was a little bit past me because I had to come in last night and work, and it was midnight-ish before I drug to the bed, and it just really throws me off, Odie.
I was going to say something. I was wondering. And Casey said, I saw you eating at the truck stop yesterday. And
yeah.
My husband wanted me to go over and say, hey, Scotty Ray, give me your autograph. He thinks y'all are funny, and I don't. I'm like, well, she just don't think I'm funny. And she come back and says, wait a minute, I didn't mean I don't think my husband's funny. Y'all funny. And I'm like, okay, now I can breathe.
She got on Odie.
Yeah. I was like, we got to do something.
Oh, have mercy. And let's pull this up and take a look at this, Odie. And then we're going to describe what we know here. We have our 7th murder of the year. Now, there's a lot more shootings, and I've got a map to where all these have happened. We'll pull it up very shortly from now. This is an ongoing investigation. This happened Highway 19, as you'll see here. Here's the Highway 19. You get off I-20. Here's Meridian Cycles, the Honda dealership, the Exxon gas station where we had the 2 murders last year. A murder has happened again there. This is before you get to College Park. Up here, McDonald's sits up here, and then College Park is at the top of your screen.
Y'all know where this is. There has been so much activity at this one store. All we've got to do is just say, hey, the Exxon on 11.
Yeah.
And you know where it's at.
Now, again, Odie and I have reviewed the video, and at first I was going to post the video of what happened. It started out as a fight between 2 people arguing. Then it led to a fist fight, and then it leads to 1 person murdered. Now, we were focused on the fight that was going on, and he had a gun the entire time.
Yeah.
I highly suggest if you ever get into an argument with anyone who has a gun, leave. It ain't worth it. Say, okay, you're right. Yeah, whatever you want, my friend.
My bad, I'm gone.
Yeah, walk away. I had a gun pulled on me one time, and I walked away. I never said a word. Yep, you're right. I got to go.
And you're still here today to do show prep for
for other folks. But as we watch this fight, and I have never upon my life, and I'm glad we didn't post it because I didn't catch what was going on to the left. We've got 2 people fighting here, and there's another man watching the fight. And Odie, what is a politically good way to say it without sounding vulgar, what he was doing? How can we word that?
Self-sexual gratification.
We are not lying in any shape, form. We've watched it. As these 2 men were fighting and rolling, this man was doing this to himself, standing there watching it.
All this is in front of the camera.
Yeah, 1 a.m. in the morning.
And at the end, after the one female says, oh my God, he's dead, she goes and opens up the store door and said, call the police. Why was the police not even called at the start of this fight, sitting out here in front of this store who has constantly had problems and constantly doing this type of activity, and no one called the police to come down here initially?
They were, and I can answer that. Yeah, that's a good question. Because it was 4, 5, 6 people out there involved in this in the beginning. 2 people actually fighting, and I have just never seen something start here and end where it ended so quickly. And again, let me back up and tell y'all, if you get into an argument with anybody that jumps out in front of you that is brandishing a gun, do not argue with them. It is not worth the trouble. Get in your car, leave, let them call you a coward, let them do anything they want to call you, because a name is a name. You'll be here tomorrow to talk about it. That was a very sad situation of what went on. The man lay there, and then the gentleman that did the suspected
shooting,
we'll word it suspected because everyone's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, drives off. I'm not sure that they've been arrested yet.
And to look at it, the one doing the gratification to himself,
whoa.
I mean, he's just there, no big deal, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Tough. The one who supposedly
Or
pulled the
suspect.
trigger or suspect. He's just sitting there like, man, you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have. The female.
It wasn't remorse.
No. And then the female was like, oh my God.
She actually was the only one that tried to break. Wait a minute. A couple. Let me take that back. But she did. She was the first to try to separate them, and then a couple others did try to separate that. But and we just can't show that because it crosses several lines.
It does, and
whoa,
wow. The camera shows who these people are.
Oh yeah, they know without a shadow of a doubt who it is.
There's no doubt in anybody's mind who, what, where, when, and why. The cars, the whole 9 yards, and it's just shameful that it's coming down to this type of activity on a regular basis.
Now, and I had someone ask a question a moment ago about some of the wording that I use when I do police reports. If I use the word taken into custody or arrested, what does it mean? When I use the word taken into custody, it means that I have not gotten an official statement from the Meridian Police Department saying that this person was arrested. I know that they went to jail, but I don't know that they got charges. And sometimes, for lack of better words, I don't get answers back from the police department, so I use the word in custody instead of saying arrested because they don't get back with me and tell me one way or the other. So I have to go with what I know. We will only give you the facts of what we know to be absolutely true. And if I get an answer from them, then I will update and change it from in custody to arrested. But I'm very cautious how I word that if I don't know the ending result. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
I hope so.
And then, Maria, this is a store camera. Is the store open all hours of the night?
Yes.
There's that store and the one across the street, they stay open pretty late. I don't know what time they close.
I think they're open 24/7. I know this one is.
But it was their camera.
And I've spoken with the owner numerous times. A good man, honest, trying to make a living, and it's scary. Now we've got. Let's move here to our next situation, folks, of what went on yesterday. There was a scare in Meridian, Mississippi, and I cannot for the life of me wrap my brain around how you would think this would be cool to go do for a social media. Now, there was an arrest in this. I witnessed it. I watched it as we go here. This would be in front of Citizens National Bank, Highway 19. If you'll notice, all of this in that area part of town. We are starting to slowly lose this area of town of more crime and more crime. What we had was someone pull up in front of the bank, get out with a gun, put a mask over their head, cover it, and take selfies, or had someone take pictures of them in front of the bank brandishing a gun in front of a bank with a mask on. You cannot do that.
No.
Now, let's talk about
this was during normal banking hours.
Yes, sir, Bob. Now, what we've had, this bank has been robbed a couple of times, not long ago. You take the employee state who have been robbed, they're nervous to begin with. This does not go well with employees. It can't. No. You know it had to scare them. You see somebody outside with a gun, what are you going to do after you've been robbed before? But let me say this, let me brag on the Meridian Police Department and the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. They were on this, as the old saying is, well, I won't even do the old saying, somebody will take it wrong. But they were there quick as you could be. And let's look at these pictures here as we pull up. Here's the scene. This is off North Hill Street on 26th Street, where the car went through the home last week. This is a dead-end street. Once you go down it, it's one lane that you ain't coming back.
Not with all that behind you.
Let me just show you. This... The angles here, there's more police than you could shake a stick at. The cars up through here, there was no way out. It was just police. They were on this, and I cannot brag as quickly as they responded and were able to find the suspects with the car and make the arrest. Now, he is going to be charged with brandishing a weapon is what it will be. He didn't rob a bank. It scared a lot of people, but it was brandishing a weapon.
Yeah, and take this and learn from it. If you want to do that, get good with a camera and get good with a computer and go take a picture of the front of the bank, go home and self-impose you in front of it.
Yeah.
going out there and doing this in the middle of the day during banking hours where people are in and out, employees are in and out. Don't be stupid.
That's right, and that's
Don't
the
be
best.
stupid.
That's the best way to word that. As we go back to look at this, all these guys, that's detectives, that's street patrol. It is all types of people there on the scene, and a big thank you to the sheriff's department for being there for backup on this. Also, they were Johnny on the spot.
You know, that's one thing is working together for the common good. That's what it is. It's not Meridian Police Department against Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. It's the Meridian Police Department, which is inside Lauderdale County.
That's correct.
I don't know why people don't really understand that, but the city of Meridian is inside Lauderdale County. And they ask why am I on wreck scenes dealing with hazmat inside the city? Because it's inside Lauderdale County.
That's correct.
And as far as FEMA goes, I'm responsible for the entire Lauderdale
Not just
County.
portions of it.
Not just portions of it. And to see the sheriff's department jump in and assist the police department, man, kudos to y'all and getting this stuff taken care of quick.
I learned something else yesterday. Buckle your belt before you leave home. I put my belt on and I ran out there. When I got the message, I got a text message that said, hey, something's going on at the bank. So I took off, I grabbed my belt, I just got my pants on, gotten out of the shower. I put my belt on and I took off and I went to jump out the car to take pictures and, well, I had to stop and button my belt. Take a loop up.
So you were fitting in.
Yeah, I was about to lose my britches. So I learned a valuable lesson out of that.
You would have blended in with the rest of the crowd.
I sure would have. I sure would have tried to grab and hold a camera and run. You just can't do it. Scotty Ray and Odie will be right back.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back to your friend Scotty Ray, along with Mr. Odie over here.
Oh, so Margie says, where did Hurricane Idalia hit land? They hit land in Keaton Beach, Florida.
Be thinking of those folks.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of flooding involved with this, homes,
yeah.
and you know, also as we think about the folks, think about the pets. There's a lot of those. I love them little critters.
Man, yeah, Category 3, that's strong. That is a major hurricane.
120 miles an hour.
120 mile an hour, winds 161. A lot of storm surge. There again, still Keaton Beach, Florida, is where it hit. Man.
All right, let's turn our thoughts to some laughter a little bit sometimes as we go back and we learn a few things that happened on this date in history. This guy, as a kid, I always thought, man, he's a great dad. I really did.
You know what he did for a living on that show?
No, I don't.
He was an airplane architect and
Really?
sold airplanes.
How'd you know that?
I don't know. It's the stupid stuff that I retain.
As Odie goes back to remember, my 3 sons. Fred McMurray was born on this date. And if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Fred, wasn't he in the Shaggy DA or one of those?
Yes, he was.
Boy, that was a good movie.
Yeah, and he was also in the professor that created the blubber.
Blubber?
Do you remember that? The Nutty Professor,
The
maybe?
the original Nutty Professor?
He was the original Nutty Professor.
Before Eddie Murphy.
Before Eddie Murphy, yeah.
I'll be dog. Didn't realize, but what a great show that was. It always had the uncle that was on there that kind of helped out.
Golly, yeah, and I can't even think of his name now.
You know, as you think back, there were a lot of TV shows that didn't have a mom in them. My 3 Sons, Andy Griffith, also the rifleman. You know, he didn't have a mom.
That's right.
She
He
had passed
raised
away.
his son. That's right.
Yeah. So that's 3 that pops into mind. There may have been others that I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember Matt Dillon's mama ever jumping up behind him saying, "Matt, what are you doing? Go over there. Go over there and get Kitty."
That's right.
Speaking of Kitty, we have to
Uncle
go back
Charlie.
to
That's right.
Uncle Charlie.
Thank y'all. Golly, I mean, they're coming in. Well, we've
Y'all
got
are
the
good.
smartest audience. Margie, Dot, Don, Steve. Man.
Odie, well, actually, Greg still totes this around. He plays it daily. Is 1919. Let's go back. We mentioned the word Kitty. Who are we talking about? Kitty Wells was born on this day. It wasn't God who made honky tonk angels.
Yeah, Greg's, he's still got it on that little mini cassette player that he's got.
Y'all, you ain't gonna know this guy's name that I'm fixing to tell you, but you're gonna go, "That's a hot woman standing beside him." And we all, even women say, "Boy, she's a hot looking woman." She was absolutely beautiful, a lady among ladies, and she's still with us, if I'm not mistaken.
And she's still beautiful.
She sure is. As we go back to 1927, a guy named Bill Daly was born. I don't even remember his character's name because
I don't either.
but I'll-
Major, something like that.
Yep. He was standing next to Major Nelson. He always helped him out on "I Dream of Jeannie." Do y'all remember him?
Man. All right, we got to go back to the correction department.
What are we circling back to?
Absent-minded professor. The nutty professor was Jerry Lewis.
Okay. Boy, Shelley, you can't pull nothing on her, can you?
Man, no. Man.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Roger Haley. That was his screen name.
Roger.
Yeah.
Angie, how in the world did you know that?
Holy. Because I remember they called him Healy.
That's right. Sure was.
Man.
There was a guy that was over them that they were trying to hide Jeannie from, and I can't remember his name. Their captain or commander.
Yeah, well, I didn't pay attention to a whole lot besides her.
That little.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to hunt us up one of them. One of our heroes was born today. He was known as Crazy Cooter at one point in time. He would go on in real life to become, as we mentioned the other day, a senator. Ben Jones was born on this date. You would know and grow to love him as the Friends of the Dukes of Hazzard. He was the one that could fix anything.
Oh, yeah, he could. They'd bring that car in the shop and he'd go to work.
Now, if you remember when the show was filmed in Georgia, Cooter was a lot more wilder. As you remember, he stole Jimmy Carter's limousine. Do you remember that episode? They came to town to fuel up, and he just couldn't handle it. He stole the presidential limo from the boar's nest as the guys were inside paying for the gas.
He had fun, didn't he?
Yeah, and then at some point after it moved to California, they changed his. He wasn't as wild, if you remember.
They had to join political.
Correctness?
Yeah.
He was
like that.
But man, what a show. And of course, if you ever go to the Tennessee mountains, you'll go to Cooter's place. He's got a place there, and they sell Dukes of Hazzard memorabilia, if I said that word correctly.
Sounds good to me.
Cooters.
Gatlinburg.
All right, as one of the greatest songs that was ever written. And you have to go into the mind of someone who is at this low. As we go back, and I tell you, Hillbilly Shakespeare is an understatement. In my opinion, the greatest songwriter that ever breathed a breath, the youngest of all superstars probably that ever passed away at a young age of 29, wrote a song called "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry." It hit #1 on this date. And what does this describe? Has anybody, there's probably an audience that's watching me going, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, everybody's experienced it.
But I'm so lonesome I could cry. And it goes through, did you ever see a mockingbird? And it just describes the train whistle in the background, and I'm so lonesome I could cry. Bring a tear to a glass eye.
Ooh, yeah, it will.
It sure will. But please, if you get a chance, listen to that. That is the standard of what a true song is. It doesn't describe beer and tailgates, and it's a song that will stand the test of time and be here forever. It is truly one of those. As we go back to 1972, she's a pretty girl.
Yeah. Now, her beliefs are a little...
Oh, she one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't she in Charlie's Angels also?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch that either because they just didn't fit me anymore. Carmen Diaz, is that
Cameron.
Cameron.
Cameron Diaz.
Oh, I've been calling her Cameron for the last 10 years. Bless her
she'll
heart.
be all right. She's probably the answer to anything.
Okay, Odie's supposed to break into Sailing. It takes me away And that's all I know.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah.
Christopher Cross. Anybody remember this guy? It was number one in 1980. And what was that other one? If you get caught between the moon and New York City?
Oh, yeah.
That was him also. I don't know anything else the guy done, but I do know that one. Sailing. We got any singers in the crowd this morning? Where y'all at?
Because we can't hear y'all.
Yeah, we're trying
y'all
real
don't
hard.
want us to sing.
1986, you could probably put this as the greatest boo-boo that Dallas ever done. Everybody quit watching the show. It was like, wow. And then how they fixed their correction, you scratch your head and go,
We'll just bring him back.
yeah. As we go back to the 1986 TV Guide cover, Bobby Ewing was killed, and then it was all a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Yeah, it didn't fly. No.
Oh, man.
That's when the show, they got new right. Every time there's a different writer brought in.
Something stupid happened.
Yep, and that's what went on there with Dallas there. The Late Show, 1993, had a debut on this night back in 93. Anybody remember this?
Letterman. That was back when it was funny.
It was.
And some of the stuff was funny. Their opening monologues were, I don't know, just kind of stupid in my opinion.
We got a name. Back to
Dr. Bellows. Now, somebody said that earlier, and I didn't bring it up. But we had first place winners up here.
Sally?
Virgil Williams. Dr. Bellows. But that was it.
Thank y'all. We appreciate that. Do so a lot. One of my heroes, and the first time I ever saw him in a movie, he was in a Western to where he fell in love with this old girl. I cannot think of the name of it, Odie, but he wore black, and she thought he was killed. And she writes a book about their love affair, and she makes all this money, and he's not dead, and he comes back to see her, and she don't want him because she's made so much money off of the love affair. Who am I talking about? He would go on to do, and they made a new one of this, and really...
Gone in 60 Seconds.
No. He wasn't in that one.
He was the original.
Was he in that?
He created a lot of these car chases, I think, didn't he?
Well, the movie that I'm referring to is Bruce Willis would star in the new one. It was horrible. Death Wish, as we go back for Charles Bronson.
Death Wish.
He passed away on this date back in 2003. But if you'll remember in the original one, you could really relate to it. It's a guy, his wife and daughter were robbed and raped, and he goes, I'm not putting up with this, because the police couldn't find any breaks, so he goes and takes matters into his own hand. After he settles his issue, he starts helping others. And they have a name for that, vigilante.
Vigilante. And I had Steve McQueen in my head.
Boy, Steve
for some
McQueen.
reason. I don't know why I confused them two.
But I have seen portions of Gone in 67, the 60 Seconds. It was a yellow Mustang used in the original one, and I can't think of that guy's name. And it'll come to us in a minute.
The original one, it was good.
I have never watched this next movie, Odie, ever, but I've heard lots of reviews that it was wonderful. Did anybody else watch it?
Never heard of it.
You haven't? They said it was great. Slumdog Millionaire. It won all kinds of awards, but I couldn't tell you what it's about. I've just always heard, hey, it's a good movie. You ought to watch it.
Well,
I'm going to send you home.
Yeah.
Boy,
We'll
here's
have to
a
learn something.
blast from the past of the name that I had almost forgotten about. Anybody remember the name Leona Hemsley? She was very rich.
Man.
Oh, she was convicted. She had to go to jail today. Guilty, 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 as People magazine covered it.
Well, oops. To defraud the United States.
She sure did.
Tax evasion, false personal tax returns,
Mail fraud.
mail fraud. I mean, hey.
What did she say? And this ran on there. What was her big quote that she said? We don't pay taxes. Only the little people pay taxes. That's what she said. And that did not set well with America.
Well, it might be true, but it's not their fault. It's our government's fault for putting in the loopholes that they did.
That's right.
Thinking they were helping themselves when they were helping smarter people who are richer than they are.
In the background of this next picture, Odie is there, but you just couldn't see him. He was way off into the distance there.
I
You
was
were
hiding.
working security that night, I think.
That's right.
As we found out that Kanye West in 2015 would announce his bid for presidency on MTV.
As he's got his security on.
It didn't work out, y'all, at all. In 2021, we go back a couple of years as we see the American flag lowered. It will be brought back to the United States as we leave Afghanistan. 83 people would perish with this.
The wrong way we left Afghanistan.
You remember the plane of the people
hanging on it?
There were. It's just horrible. It was handled wrong.
A leader, a true leader, with compassion.
And I was wrong on that number of those that perished. I had that wrong, but we did lose several lives of people.
Yes, we did.
There were bombs that were set off on our men and women who serve our country.
Yeah.
Worries us to the core.
It really does.
We are Scotty Ray and Odie. It is a Wednesday morning. We'll be right back.
Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigerator. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
I was getting on Odie during this.
I couldn't have took a picture because I was thinking, well, that just looked out of place. And I still didn't know what it was.
So it's our job to tell you if you were happening to drive home last night and go, what is that?
Yeah.
Deep in Neshoba County last night on the 2-lane road, road construction is going on. Over to your right would be this big orange street sweeper. It cleans the road when mud gets on it. Yeah. Well, an old boy thought, well, I'll just take that for a ride. He did. He drove it all the way to Whippoorwill Road in Lauderdale County, sweeping the streets as he came. Now, the video that I'm fixing to show you is blurry, but I think I need to show it regardless. It just sets the scene of what went on last night as we pull this up.
Took him 12 hours to get there.
Here we go. And that's the way it was as Lauderdale County deputies arrested a man for DUI and borrowing equipment without permission. Do you realize how long that took on a sweet sweeper at 4 miles an hour to get from 2-lane all the way up in Philadelphia to almost the city limits of Meridian on a street sweeper?
And some of that was a 2-lane highway. You know, you made some people mad. Who's street sweeping this time of night? And then they got to go around you.
Man alive.
And you, a street sweep. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened there last night. So if you were happening to come along, we want you to know exactly what went on. Now, let's move across town. We don't know that. I haven't got any reports that this has been solved yet. I do know that they know the type of car. If you're out Highway 45 North, you're leaving there, you go left to go Highway 39, or you go straight toward Meridian. Right up the road, you'll pass Mississippi Power. It's on the right-hand side of the road. Yep. Well, on your left, and I remember when Hurricane Katrina came through, I was standing there across the street, which I won't name that place, and the roof on this honky-tonk went up like this, and then it went whoosh, and it was gone. It took the entire roof off the place.
So it was a convertible.
It was. It became, they had to come put a new roof. I'd never seen anything like that. As we go here, this would be, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's not like the other place.
Your place.
Your place. Here's, we pull this up. Here it is. We had a robbery there last night, and the person who did the robbery was driving a red Mazda Miata. Kind of hard to miss a car like that.
Gonna stick out just a little bit.
Now,
that's a topless bar. Since the roof got blown off on it.
Y'all are killing me. That was back in 2005. But to my knowledge, no one was hurt, no one was injured in this, but a red Mazda Miata. If you happen to notice that running around town, you might want to call the police and say, hey, why don't you talk to them?
Yeah. But you're gonna rob a bar.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing but cash, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm going to jail, it would be for more.
It's
than
going to be
that.
for a whole. I'm going to be one of these that really plan it out and do it during closed hours. I'm going to go to New York and get me a safe cracker and a
Ocean's 11 type
weapon.
thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. I want.
Man, most crimes and why they get caught is it's not thought out.
That one wasn't thought out.
Yeah, let's go to our next headline in Meridian, Mississippi, where, as Odie said, this was not thought out. Tell me where you don't go and do bad stuff to, Odie. Where's the number one place in Meridian you wouldn't go do something bad at?
To where they teach how to whoop somebody's butt. And at Black Eagle Karate, do y'all know what that's not just a Japanese word. Black Eagle Karate. And David Carr's a bad man himself. And you've got a karate class going on, and you decide, I'm fixing to break up in this store.
A guy goes to Trucker Supply, which is David Carr, busts his window and takes off running. Well,
Yeah, because he had all them karate people behind him and them karate gis, and oops, I made a mistake.
David Carr was able to chase down the culprit and hold him till police arrived. So we urge you, criminals, stay away from people that can hurt you. David Carr can hurt you.
With a pinky.
He's bad to the bone.
You don't mess with him.
This should be shown several times a day to show criminals you should be scared.
Yeah.
Let's go back and look at this beautiful bean footage of the broken window here at Trucker Supply. Stay away from there because they will hold you until the police come, unlike other places.
They teach people how to whoop butt in that place, and you're going to go try and break in.
Oh, that's like going in. I saw a movie one time where this bunch goes in to rob a bar. They pull out, and it was a police bar. Everybody in there had a gun.
Yeah.
I forget what movie it was, but it's kind of the same scenario here.
Kind of the same way.
So, if y'all get a chance today, do a salute to David and the gang over there for catching the bad guy.
Yeah, and tell everybody.
Yeah.
That's probably not a safe place to rob.
Yeah, send that out. Send that a memo to all the criminals there. Scotty Ray and Odie will be right back. We got more to talk about. It's not over yet. Interstate Auto, conveniently located on North Frontage Road in Meridian, right down from IHOP, has a large selection of late model cars and trucks just waiting on you. You may be in the market for an SUV or a family sedan to fit all the kids in. And a huge selection of trucks, whether it's a Ford, a GMC, a Chevrolet, a Dodge Ram that you're looking for, or an economical Toyota truck. Inventory changes daily at Interstate Auto. From a minivan to a sporty four-door sedan, Interstate Auto has what you need, North Frontage Road, Meridian. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. This is the Scotty Ray Report. If this is your first time for watching, enjoy. We're going to be back tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that. We're not leaving. We're here to tell you what happens in the area and across the nation.
Now, we've got a special guest tomorrow. Not for the show, but a little bit later, right?
Yes, sirree. We've got the governor of the great state of Mississippi coming in tomorrow. That's going to be a part of the Scotty Ray Report, as we'll do an interview with him to find out what's going on in the state of Mississippi as COVID, what's happening. He'll be here at 2:15. I hope you'll join us. We'll go live to interview the governor to find out more. We've had a lot of folks come through in the last little bit. Lieutenant Governor came to see us, and now the governor is on his way to visit with us. And we hope you'll watch the interview tomorrow.
Yeah, because a lot of, and you can ask questions just like any other time. But to have him here and be able to talk to everyone, looking forward to it.
Sure are. Another thing that we need to is the word dispel.
Dispel a rumor?
Yes, I think we need to do that.
Yep.
This was put out that Winn-Dixie was shutting down in Meridian. and it would no longer be, and that's absolutely not true. It's going to be open, although the pharmacy with inside will close, and I think the employees have already found jobs elsewhere. They've been offered jobs. But Winn-Dixie is not going anywhere, and we made a post about that. It was a simple post there. It will remain open. It will not close. The pharmacy will close on the 12th of September.
Now, Aldi also bought the name, not just the stores, but they bought the name. So it's going to remain Winn-Dixie. It's just going to be owned by the Aldi Corporation. So,
boy, I'm telling you, we started getting criminals reported immediately.
You know, that's true.
Yeah, we just found somebody that's got a red Miata in town.
Yeah,
we got to find out where they were last night.
I'm going to call him in here in a minute and find out. Where he was.
Whoa. I did not put two and two together.
You know, if we go to lunch today and he says, "Hey, I got it," we're going to know something's up.
If he buys lunch. I did not get a chance to attend Saturday. It was very hot, and I thought I can't do it. But a legend came to Philadelphia, Mississippi, and when I see this picture of her, it's an album cover. All I can think of is what were their names? ZZ Top. She's got legs.
Well, yep, that's it.
There's Dolly. She's got legs and she doesn't use them.
Yep.
She did. What a big deal for our area to have Dolly. We certainly appreciate her coming. It raised a lot of money for Marty Stewart's Congress of Country Music. It is great to have such a thing here so close to us in Philadelphia, and we support that wholeheartedly. It's big.
Oh, yeah. And what it's done to Philadelphia, I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
So we've got a request out there.
What kind of request we got?
So tomorrow afternoon, when you start the interview and we sit down,
yeah,
so they've requested for you to go, "Hello, Governor." So
I may let you handle that part.
So I wonder how many times he's had to deal with that.
Oh, I bet.
Hello, Governor.
I bet you a bunch. We've got a statue that is coming to Mississippi.
Oh, I like that.
Jerry Lee Lewis is going to be getting a statue dedicated to him. You know, he passed not long ago.
Yep.
Great balls of fire.
Boy, he could play a piano.
We are.
Oh, man.
DeSoto County, and we're tickled that that's going to be done. He was good. He was way to word it.
You know, he came to the Temple Theater.
Did he now?
Can't remember exactly what year it was. But now you talk about jump up, kick the piano stool out from under him and go to throwing down on that piano. Woo, he could play.
Jason D. Williams. I remember Ken Rainey brought a guy that was pretty close. His name was Jason D. Williams, and he had the flair just like Jerry Lee. There's not many people that even play a piano anymore. There was Terry Gibbs. Somebody's knocking. Should I let him in?
Yeah, boy.
But there are very few that play the piano anymore. So
I took lessons for a long time.
So you can play?
I used to could.
All you got to do is go by an estate sale. Somebody will give you one because they weigh so much.
Well, I got a piano at the house.
Do you? What do you do?
Well,
with
not
it?
my house, my mama's house.
You play it?
No, but she still piddles with it every now and then.
There's one in my mama's house that ain't been touched in the last 48 years since it's been there.
My sister played. My nephew played. Yeah, we got an organ. Charlene used to play the organ pretty good. Then my nephew, boy, he was real good with the organ.
I'm glad it's y'all. Yeah. I should have learned. I really should have.
Oh, I still wish I would have continued on where I didn't forget everything.
I was watching not long ago where Elvis sat down with somebody and he started playing with. Man, that man was talented. Just talented. We send condolences as the Philadelphia Police Department, Eric Lyons, passes along information to us as we pull this up this morning. To the family of Kristen Kittrell. She was 22 years old, of Kosciuszko. She is the young lady who lost her life in the accident that happened in Philadelphia at the red light earlier this week. We can't say enough condolences on this. Horrible.
No, not at all. That is terrible. Prayers definitely.
You just never know when something like that can happen. So keep it in mind as we do that.
You know, you've heard us say it. I brought it up a bunch yesterday. I mean, the true is true. I mean, you can't get away with that. But I was a big Rush Limbaugh fan. Always listened to him
Oh, I
as much
liked
as I could.
He was interesting.
He really was, and he kept on top of everything. And so I've stole that line from him, and I've got to give him credit where credit is due. It is Rush Limbaugh, who was show prep for everybody in the nation.
He was.
And, I mean, we're just show prep for
Local.
here, for local. But that's all credited to Rush Limbaugh, the EIB network. Not a better person in radio talk show than Rush Limbaugh. You'll never compete with him.
It was just it was a conversation with him. It wasn't like you were listening to the news. It was he knew what he was talking about.
Yes.
He understood it.
And he studied it.
The only other person that is a step notch higher than that would be the great Paul Harvey. I have never in my life trusted someone so much. If Paul Harvey told me, you could take it to the bank. There was not. He did it. If you advertised with him, you were good.
That's right.
You didn't have to worry about that.
That's right.
He investigated. Him and Angel behind the scenes there.
Yeah, it was, man, something. Both of those top notch, great people. But that line of being everybody's show prep, that belongs to Rush Limbaugh. Going to give him credit, but we definitely, since we are everybody's prep, we'll use that every now and then.
I want to address this because I was sent this earlier this week and said, did this happen in Meridian, Mississippi? And it did not. It made national headlines, and I posted it last night. It was somewhere near Jackson. I won't play the video because, well, it shows some
it's
violence.
Online. Y'all can find it.
Yeah, but it's they're referring to it now in the news. Near Jackson, Mississippi, 2 rednecks get into a fight. There's actually 3. One does have a pistolero, and as I urged, somebody's got one lead. This old boy would not. So they just took a 2x6 and went pop, gave him a little adjustment right upside the head.
He kind of wiggled a little bit and went down to one knee. I'll give him credit. He come back up.
He did. And then along came Mr. Shovel.
Yeah. He said, wait a minute, this is a gun. Let me put that down. Come back with Mr. Longhandle.
That old boy took a lick and kept on ticking. Matter of fact, he got another one after he made it to the vehicle.
Now, I tell you,
Odie, how do you survive that? He might have hit a car leaving the scene.
He probably couldn't remember what had happened.
Here's the headlines for you to look this up. I've got it on our page from yesterday.
Yeah.
Look it up. But here's the headline from Daily Mail there. Redneck beaten with wood and shovel in shocking brawl. I've got the raw video of it where it was sent to me, and I really did think it was local there, and I sent it to you, and we all got to looking around trying to find if it did happen here, and it turns out it was west of here.
Yeah, right across the noggin. And this was supposedly over a deer?
Yeah.
You know, I shot it. No, I shot it. No, that's my deer. No, that's my deer.
You could have went and bought some meat at the store of what it's going to cost to fix that at the doctor.
And that's just the stitches.
Folks, I'm telling you, that was a lick. Here it is on my page. This is what you look for. Go back and read this story, and the video is there.
Look at that woe back. That first picture with him with the blood, that's after just the
2x6. I'm talking about
Pawpaw just.
And the wife is apparently on 911. Oh my God!
You got to get them here quick.
That shows the police. There's just no way for the police to get somewhere quick.
No,
you can't. When things go down, they go down. They get there as quick as they can. But my, what a scene! Odie, I think we're going to have to pack our shovels and toys and go home for today.
Yeah, we'll get this thing started again, but we'll be back in 23 hours to do it again. Don't worry, your show prep's coming. I like it when Rush said that. God, I love that line. But anyway, appreciate y'all staying with us. We love you. Have a safe day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: